One object that I really wanted to borrow for this exhibition is one copy of the Quran that belongs to the National Library of Rabat, and it's a unique copy that was copied with gold ink on dyed green paper.
Qatar really represents the future of style, of innovation, development, architecture, and art. I knew exactly when I landed here that I wanted to base my work on that.
Hello, welcome to Qatar 365 with me, Adil Halim. On this episode, we're back in Doha to continue our special coverage of the Qatar-Morocco Years of Culture 2024. As part of the year-long cultural exchange initiative, Joanna Hoos visits the National Museum of Qatar to check out an exhibition by a Moroccan-Dutch fashion designer. But first, Laila Humaira goes back in time and through the ages of Morocco's unique heritage to the Museum of Islamic Art's special exhibition on the kingdom's diverse traditions.
From a collage of vivid portraits and street photography to a set of silver jewelry from the personal collection of His Majesty King Mohammed VI and a contemporary art installation reflecting the diverse tapestry of Moroccan life and landscapes, Splendors of the Atlas reflects the essence of a country deeply rooted in its fusion of traditions. The exhibition is a passion project of Dr. Munia Shehab Abudaya. It's a culmination of 2 years of research across Qatar and Morocco for the Deputy Director of Curatorial Affairs at the Museum of Islamic Art.
When we think of Morocco, it's a very rich and unique country that holds a lot of diversity in its landscapes, in its people, and its heritage, its traditions. And what I wanted to convey as a message is that we are moving through a journey, but a journey that tells us the story, the unique story of Morocco.
Walking through the galleries, the story of Morocco is told through historical objects from as far back as the 9th century. More than 200 artifacts from the museum's collection are being displayed here at Splendors of the Atlas, while some are on loan from Moroccan institutions. 5 sections bridge the past and present, showcasing Morocco's rich blend of cultures, mixing Amazigh, Arab, Andalusian, African and Mediterranean influences.
One object that I really wanted to borrow for this exhibition is one copy of the Quran that belongs to the National Library of Rabat, and it's a unique copy that was copied with gold ink on dyed green paper. It's a unique copy. You will not find any other copies anywhere else in the world.
Other highlights include wooden panels and a metal door from the University of Al-Qarawiyyin in Fez. Considered to be the oldest university in the world, it was founded in 859 by the Muslim scholar Fatima al-Fihri.
This piece is on loan from the National Foundation of Museums, and it used to belong to one of the doors leading to one section of the mosque in the Qarawiyyin Mosque in the 12th century. Not many pieces have survived, and a lot of the metal has been remelted, but then they kept some of those panels, and this is one of them.
Beyond choosing the artifacts for display, Splendors gave Dr. Munia the opportunity to leave a deeper impression on visitors, one that encourages them to look past the surface of what they see.
My role as a curator was to really convey a message that really goes outside of what we can present in the media about Islam, about the Islamic civilization as a whole, and how rich it is from its beginning all the way to contemporary practices.
That's also one of the many goals of the Years of Culture initiative, to transcend the differences between countries and strengthen the ties that bind, building lasting partnerships.
I think up to the present, we still see the legacy of those years of culture and how we are still having collaborations and partnerships with those institutions. So I think what's important here is that it's an initiative that is not just for a year long, it's something that can continue over the decades.
Earlier this year, 8 Qatari artists took part in a journey across Morocco where they immersed themselves in the country's rich Islamic heritage and architecture. The fruits of that educational trip are now on display here in a vibrant showcase called Iktashif Morocco. Now, to talk about the pivotal role the Museum of Islamic Art plays in the Years of Culture initiative, I caught up with Museum Director Sheikha Al Nasser. Sheikha, the Museum of Islamic Art is hosting multiple exhibitions as part of the Years of Culture initiative. We're in the Splendors of the Atlas. We're going to visit Iktashif. How do these exhibitions fit in the larger Years of Culture goals?
Years of Culture is a program that was initiated by Qatar Museums in 2012. And it is a part of the broader mission for Qatar Museums to collaborate and have cultural exchanges between other nations. And this year we are celebrating Qatar-Morocco Year of Culture to strengthen the bond between the two nations and share the cultural heritage between Qatar and Morocco.
Every year, Qatar partners with a new country as part of Years of Culture. This year was Morocco. How do you go about curating these exhibitions?
Me and the curator, we went on a trip around Morocco, so we visited numerous exhibitions and cultural heritage sites where also we've met with museum directors and experts and to discuss how to put the themes of the exhibition together and which objects would fit in the storyline of the exhibition. It was a really amazing trip. We were impressed by the local arts and crafts that has been preserved for centuries until today and still inspire artists till today.
Speaking of inspiring artists, 8 Qatari artists got a chance to go to Morocco as part of the Ektashif program. Tell us a bit about that program and why it's important.
So Ektashif, which means explore, and in English is an initiative that's been also initiated by the Museum of Islamic Art, and each year we take a group of artists to travel to different countries that have rich cultural tradition and local arts and crafts. And this year it was to Morocco, and they participated in several workshops provided by artisans. And upon their return, they create artworks that are inspired by their visit and to show the influences and the cross-cultural connections between the two nations.
So there's a lot obviously going on inside the museum, but right outside in Mia Park is the Dar al-Maghrib pavilion. I was just in Morocco and it feels like I was transported back to Marrakesh. That's the point, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. And to provide a journey for the visitors to go through the history of Morocco.
And did you discover anything on your walkthrough of the pavilion?
So quite a lot. It's really amazing experience for the visitors also to learn about the history of Morocco and local crafts, and also there is a schedule where we have different craftsmen coming from Morocco to do a display of how they do ceramics, weaving, different crafts with a live performance.
It's a wonderful way for people who might not be able to physically go to Morocco to at least get a bit of an experience. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Sheikh.
Thank you.
From Morocco's rich cultural heritage and artistic legacy to creativity of a different kind. Joanna Hoos is at the National Museum of Qatar to meet celebrated Moroccan-Dutch designer Mohammed Ben Shalal, who has brought his cutting-edge couture to Doha.
The dresses on display here at the National Museum may have been created by a designer with Moroccan and Dutch roots, but step back and Qatar's influence on the collection is unmistakable. For Ben Shalal Monumental Sculpting Past Tomorrow, an exhibition that is part of the 2024 Years of Culture, celebrated couturier Mohammed Ben Shalal was inspired by Qatar's landscape, integrating tradition and innovation.
The first time I came here, I felt that I entered the future. I also like to think that a lot of countries have a lot of rich history, but for me, Qatar has a very rich future. Qatar really represents the future of style, of innovation, development, architecture, and art. So I knew exactly when I landed here that I wanted to base my work on that.
It was in this very same museum in 2021 that Mohammed was chosen as one of the winners of the prestigious Fashion Trust Arabia, an award founded under the patronage of Her Highness Sheikha Moza bint Nasser that supports design talent from the MENA region. It makes it extra special for Mohammed to be back here 3 years later for his first solo exhibition, which he created at Doha's Liwan Design Studios and Labs. But whether he works in Qatar or elsewhere, some signature design features always stay the same.
There's always 3 key elements that you can really find in my work. It is always playing with a lot of volume. It is the proportion, where you place the volume, and everything has really a sculptural cut. I think those are the 3 points that you can think of.
Mohammed's namesake label Ben Shalal is known for its voluminous silhouettes and sculptural cuts, but also a devotion to slow fashion. In a world where fast fashion has considerable environmental costs, Mohammed believes that sustainability is the future of couture, a conviction that was born as much out of ethics as necessity.
You have to imagine starting a brand or a label. It really requires a huge investment of capital, and I didn't have that. So first and foremost, I had to start with material, with fabric. I always went to inexpensive markets to buy the leftovers from the industry because that was the only thing I could afford. And in today's world, it's being really seen as sustainable, but for me, it was really the way to even begin.
To this day, it's the fabrics that Mohammed can get hold of that dictate his designs. And sometimes those textiles come from some unexpected places, like a car upholstery shop in Doha's Souk Waqif, where he purchased the fabrics used in this collection.
I stumbled on an upholstery for car seats shop, and I found really the most beautiful fabric there. It's really playing with what you have. Sometimes creativity really comes when you have to improvise.
From A-list celebrities to royalty, Mohammed has dressed them all. But he's not putting his scissors down anytime soon, as there is simply too much inspiration out there.
I like to see myself as a designer nomad. So I'm sure that this won't be the last of it. And I'm really looking forward to see where my journey is going to take me next to base my work on a different place on the globe.
From exploring the splendors of the Atlas to meeting a designer making his mark in the world of fashion, we hope you enjoyed our special coverage of the Qatar-Marruecos Years of Culture 2024. But that's all the time we have for now. For more, check out Euronews.com and connect with us through our hashtag. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Qatar 365.